Hey everyone, welcome on to Branded. This is the podcast that takes you behind the scenes and beyond the brand. Today we're talking about brand basics, but also we're going to talk about how to present those brand basics as a reflection of you. So recently I attended an event that had a keynote speaker, and she was presenting information that I've heard before. And instead of sitting there thinking, well, I've heard this, yep, heard that, yep, heard that, I was actually really paying attention to how she was delivering it. Because what she was saying wasn't necessarily new information, but what it was a new perspective. I had never heard the perspective of, her personality, her expertise, her experience when it came to infusing this message and this concept into her business. And it really got me thinking how so frequently so many of us don't say things because other people are saying them. Oh, well, that message is already out there. So I guess it's not important that I say what's on my mind. It is important. They haven't heard it from you. So if you have something to say it, share it. Your perspective is something that hasn't been heard before. Your expertise, your experiences, they're valuable when it comes to the message that is being delivered, right? It's essentially taking that knowledge and making it tangible, making it real, making it more connected. And so I was so grateful that I had heard this keynote speech, because I'm sure there was a portion of the audience that really needed to hear that message because they probably aren't doing these things in their business. For me, it was really more, I needed to hear this message because I needed to be reminded of how important it really is to constantly be revisiting some of these basic concepts for our brand and our business. So I'm going to run through a list of some brand basics, and we're going to talk a little bit about why they're so important and how to really make them a reflection of you, right? We're not mimicking other people doing business. They can be great inspirations for us, but we want your brand and all of these really basic things to be a reflection of you. And this is something that if you don't have these already going in your business, spend some time paying attention and getting these dialed in. If you do already have these things in your business, but you feel like your business is kind of plateauing, maybe you just don't have that momentum and that drive for some reason, revisit these brand basics, because as you evolve and grow, your business needs to be doing the same thing. And sometimes, honestly, life gets busy and it's easy to not do some of the basic stuff that you maybe did 6 months ago, a year ago. Revisit these conversations because you'll be able to help either reinvent or revamp the conversation around them. So what are some brand basics that you really should be focusing on every 6 months or so? A good profile picture. This sounds so fucking basic, but if you have a picture of yourself with like your dog or your friends or you're drinking or whatever, like if that does not support your business and the message that you have for your business, then you need to get a different photo. Your profile picture, and I'm not saying you should spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on professional photography all the time. What I would suggest is having a good portfolio of images at least once a year that you pay a professional photographer to do for you. Or you have a friend help you, right? Maybe somebody's trying to get better at using the camera. Like, you don't always have to pay for these kinds of services. So get creative if you don't want to. But understand that having a profile photo, if you're using social media to build your business, is hugely important. It's the very first thing people see when they come across your page. And if they can't see you, it looks all janky, they're gone. They've already left. It's been all of 3 seconds and they're gone. Spend the $100, right? I found a service where it's like $120. I get at least 60 photos from it. And I have been recycling and reusing these photos for easily the last 6 months. I don't do my makeup every day. I don't even brush my hair every day. It ends up in a big messy bun on top of my head and I'm wearing yoga clothes. So when I'm creating content, when I'm having marketing, stuff blasted out on my socials or my emails or whatever, it is not usually me that day. It is a photo of me that reflects my brand and my business that I have on standby to use and recycle. That is the whole point of the fact that I did that photo shoot. So I have a portfolio of images that matched the vibe and the messaging for my business so I can use them. Now, if you have photos of you from like 10 years ago, get new photos. You look even more gorgeous today than you did 10 years ago. Get new photos. So, your profile pic, make sure it's something that people can see your face. There's a little bit of personality there. Maybe the color scheme is a reflection of your brand. And I'm not saying you have to spend an arm and a leg to do it, but be mindful that it is important. And it is a really basic thing that if you do it right, you can leave it there for a good 6 months to a year without having to bother with it, without changing it. Another brand basic that you want to look at is your bio. If you're using social media, having a very concise bio that tells people what you do is important. If I was to come across your page and I either see no bio whatsoever, then I have to scroll. If I want to figure out who you are and what you do, your content better fucking tell me if you don't have a bio. But having a really concise bio makes it really easy for people to land on your profile, read it, because it should take all of 10 seconds, and decide, oh yeah, she's for me. So tell people what you do. And it can be in a phrase, it could be like a one-liner, one sentence. You could have a couple little bullet points. That works too. Right now, mine are bullet points. So to give you an example of a super concise bio that tells you exactly what I do, my bio says website design and development. There is no guessing there. That's exactly what it sounds like. I design websites. I also develop them, meaning I make them work. Right? They're not just pretty, they actually work. The next one is email copywriting. I do a lot of email copywriting. I'm good at writing, I'm good at design, hence email copywriting, email campaigns, right? It says exactly what it is. And then my last bullet point is automation in all the right places. This tells people that are struggling with automation in their business that I know something about automation. So if they want to have a conversation with me, one of those 3 reasons is most likely why they're going to work with me. Be really clear about what it is you do and tell people. And your bio, I mean, honestly, years ago, I spent a lot of time trying to come up with the perfect I am statement, right? I racked my brain forever, it felt like, to get this right. I'm telling you, write something, like put something on your bio today, you can change it tomorrow. Stop stalling by trying to make it perfect and just start taking action. Because once you put it out there, if you decide, oh, you know what, that doesn't really feel right, maybe I didn't say it right, whatever, change it. The button that says edit bio does not ever expire. You can change all the information as frequently as you want. Now, I wouldn't go changing it every single day. Give yourself a little bit of time to sort of like feel it out. Put something out there and just let it be. Just let it sit for a minute. See how people resonate with it. See how you resonate with it. Give it a good week or so to grow some legs and see if it feels good. And if not, make an edit, right? Another brand basic that you want to be focusing on is talking about what your dream client wants to talk about. So if I'm in your if I'm in your content, I'm scrolling, or if I'm getting your emails, they better be talking about what I want to talk about as the consumer, right? So you need to know, who is this person that is consuming your content, consuming your marketing materials? Who are they, and what are the things they actually want to talk about? Here's a little hint. They don't want to talk about you. They want to talk about themselves. They want to talk about what is affecting their business and their day to day. Of course, you can utilize yourself as an example. Obviously, you're the best example to provide, but they don't necessarily want to hear about you. They want to hear about them and the things they're struggling with and the things that they're having to deal with day to day in their business. So talk about those things. Another brand basic that you want to focus on is, what do you want to be known for? Now, I found it really interesting when I was at the keynote speech recently, when she was on stage and she was presenting this question to the audience. I guarantee there was about 80% of that audience that don't have an answer to this. And the other 20% were probably just nervous to, speak in front of other people. There was about 150 people in the crowd. So I get it. I'm an introvert. And the last thing I'm going to do is raise my hand and be like, yo, I got an answer. I'll wait to be called on before I'll do that. That's just my, a side of my personality that's a little timid that I am trying to work on by going to in-person events, but it's something I know about myself. So think about it. What do you want to be known for? And I'm not saying that you have to niche down to like the tiniest little seed and that's the only thing you're known for. Think about it this way. You're multifaceted, you're multi-passionate, you're good at a lot of things, but that can be confusing for people. And honestly, it can be really confusing for you too, because then you end up stretching yourself in this direction and that direction and that direction, instead of just saying, you know what, these are the things I want to be known for, and this is how I'm going to do it. Now, that doesn't mean once you secure that client, you don't have the opportunity to present all of the other stuff that you're really good at. Most likely you will, right? We're going to dive into this concept a lot more on next week's episode, so come back for that. But think about it. Think about it now. So when you listen to next week's episode, we can really start digging in and peeling back the layers. But what do you want to be known for? Like, really want to be known for? When people come across your page, when a client that you just worked with meets somebody and they say, oh, what have you been doing in your business recently? And they talk about the work they did with you. What are they talking about? Think about it now, and we're going to dig in more next week. And then lastly, the brand basic I want to talk about is, decide where you want to spend your time. And then be consistent there. So whether you're building your business online or not, social media is free advertising, plain and simple. So if you're not utilizing it as a business tool, learn how to use it. Plug into these episodes, find people that are talking about how to use it, learn how to use it as a business tool. Don't let it burn you out. Decide how many days a week you can manage utilizing social media to support your business. If it's 1 day a week, awesome, stick to it. If it's 3 days a week, awesome, stick to it. It does not have to be every single day, and it does not have to be every single platform. If there are platforms that you don't like using, that you would never find yourself on as a consumer, do not use those for your business, at least not right now. If down the road you're big, you're booming, you've got somebody managing your social medias for you, sure, cool. Get on all the platforms, whatever, do the thing. But if you're the one doing the work and having to show up, be in the places that you enjoy being. Otherwise, you're not going to stay consistent, and you're not going to want to be there, and you're not going to gain any traction. So for me, like the platforms that I utilize, I have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok. The places that I actually hang out. And when I say hang out, I mean like as a consumer, maybe maybe 5 hours a week, probably less to be honest, because I really don't consume social media that much, is probably Instagram. But I'll be honest, I'm sick of the ads. I used to love being on Pinterest because there were so many cool ideas. Now, advertisements, advertisements, advertisements. I'm sick of it. So I've stopped hanging out on that platform. I don't bother marketing my business on that platform because I don't want to hang out on that platform. So instead, what I did is I clicked the little toggle button that's inside of Pinterest that shares my Instagram content. Anytime I post something to Instagram, a reel, a post, whatever, it shares it with Pinterest automatically, and I just let it be. Now, I'm not saying that's the best thing to do, but it's what I'm doing because it's what my energy can handle. I pre-schedule my stuff for LinkedIn. I'm not hanging out on that platform. Honestly, I'm not. I schedule my stuff for YouTube through StreamYard, through, like third-party stuff. I'm not hanging out on that platform. So my message is still going there, and that's really what I'm saying. When you have to decide what platforms you want to hang out on, you have to decide for yourself, how frequently am I going to be there? Because you have to be there. You have to show up. Even if it's just to go in and schedule stuff, you still have to be there. And same goes for in person, right? Where do you want to be hanging out in person, networking and talking about your business? If you're only online, you're missing the mark here. Get into your community. That's a skill that you will lose if you don't use it. Networking and having conversations with new people is a skill that every business owner should have. And if you're not phenomenal at it, I'm not phenomenal at it. And the reason I keep showing up to these events, I don't want to be just a fly on the wall that's like having an internal conversation with myself because I'm too nervous to talk to people that I don't know. Walk up to somebody. Hey, what's your name? What do you do? Why are you here? What drew you to this event? Have a conversation. And you don't have to learn their life story and sit there and talk to them for 30 minutes, but engage. Doing in-person stuff, I would highly recommend looking for something that's like quarterly, because then there's not a huge commitment physically that you have to commit to, right? You show up somewhere once every 3 months. You get to sort of flex that networking muscle a little bit, and it's only going to help elevate what you do online. Guarantee. And also, you want to think about what are the other places that you can, whether it's email marketing, right? How many times a week are you going to be sending emails? If it's once a month, fine. Stick to it though. Honor it. If it's once a week, every other week, whatever it is, because the communication that you're providing, that subscriber list will start getting used to hearing from you a certain amount of times, right? Start getting used to how you communicate. And if you just stop, they're just going to think, well, I guess she just fell off the face of the earth and isn't in business anymore. And they'll likely unsubscribe, or the next time you send something, it'll just be like, oh, okay, that was kind of weird. I guess she's back. You don't want that. So pay attention to these brand basics and think about them for yourself. Like, what do you currently have in place? If nothing, definitely dig in and start implementing some of this. If you have something, but you feel like it's kind of time to tweak it a little bit, revamp it, reinvent it, because you're getting bigger and better and smarter and all the things, let your brand and your business be a reflection of that. All the cool shit that you're doing, all the really impactful stuff that you're doing for your business or your clients, to be seen. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Definitely come back for next week. We're going to be diving into what do you want to be known for. We're going to really dig into that. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Branded, the podcast. Please rate and review. And for more information, visit socialjanemedia.com. I'll see you soon.